Dr. Kenneth Kaunda right there. Maybe we can start with that. How would you remember him? Or rather, is there anything that you can remember about him?
There's a lot to remember about him, but firstly, let me say I'll remember him for the rest of my life because we happen to share the same birthday. That's on the 28th of April.
Oh, okay.
So, growing up, I have always celebrated that my father has always said, "You're a Kaunda baby," you know. So,
yeah.
And besides that, of course, there is the fact that he contributed enormously to the independence struggle, not only in Zambia, but you can see how everybody else is mourning the man, and just him as a person, it was really, really amazing to preach about, HIV, and he constantly was against tribalism, and he was an amazing person. He also talked about, God almost in every interview that's surfacing right now. So, and everybody wants to live that long, man.
Yeah, true.
Hey.
Yeah,
we can go on and on and on.
True that. So we were talking about the 26th of June, which basically is Zambia is going to join the rest of the world to celebrate the International Day Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse under the theme "Share Facts, Save Lives." And I came across something very interesting. This is why we want to get to have this interaction with you right here on Joy FM. Maybe let's start with your introduction for people who don't know, and give us a brief story about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Daniel Mbazima, and I happen to be the son of a pastor. And you know what they say about pastors' children, eh?
Yeah.
So I happen to be one of those people that struggled with addiction. That's alcoholism and drug abuse for quite some time, to the point where I got expelled from 2 medical schools because of the same. I battled with depression as a result of seeing my friends, people that I was with in school graduate, build houses, buy cars, get married, and all these amazing things happening in their lives. And in that moment, I got so depressed that my use of alcohol and drugs accelerated. So I was basically that junkie that everybody knows on the streets. And I got kicked out from home. I was in jail a couple of times. I went to China a couple of times. And I was just basically junkie. So I did battle with addiction for quite some time, and now I am in recovery and I'm back in school, and I'm also working to help a number of people that are battling with addiction as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about your rehab. I know it's one step that is quite very hard to make for so many people. If you ask someone who's addicted to something, like let's talk about drugs, they would even tell you that, Aish, man, it's hard to stop. In your case, how did you manage that with an addiction?
Okay, so firstly, my family were very supportive, okay, because they understood the fact that addiction is a sickness, okay. So a person who uses undergoes certain physical and chemical changes in their body. That's why they tend to use drugs more, or they tend to drink excessively. That's because they cannot handle it. It's an addiction. You get what I mean? So they distinguish the fact that it's not a choice. Some people cannot drink normally. That's just how it is. Okay, it goes back to genetics and everything else. Some people cannot just handle alcohol. Some people cannot handle the use of drugs and whatnot. So because of that, my family played a very crucial role in my recovery. They were very supportive. For myself, I was still in denial, but my family still kept up and they were very supportive. Eventually, I also had to realize to say, this thing is basically going to land me 3 places. It was jail, the hospital, or the mortuary. So I had to turn around. I did not know how to, but then somebody that knew how to came through and showed me the right way. And that was the beginning of it all. So despite my supportive family, I also had to make that decision.
Was there a challenge where you felt like you want to stop, but something is still holding you back and getting back at it? I know when we talk about addiction, it's not something that just happens like in a day, like you just decide saying, I just want to stop. That's where I want to find out, because I know there's someone's listening right now. Maybe they're addicted now. They're saying, no, ways, man. Maybe this person is just explaining because it's on radio right now.
Okay, so there were times when I wanted to stop. And here's the thing. You will meet a number of people that will tell you they want to stop. And yet they do not. So the best example that I can give is, let's say, my guy, you've been walking in the desert the whole day. And you've been walking the whole day without food, without water, and it's really, really burning hot in the desert, and you've been walking and walking, and then at the end of it all, they put you in a room, okay? And in that room, in between, there's an unbreakable glass barrier, and on the other side, somebody comes and puts a glass of water, and then they are telling you, yo, concentrate on your career, concentrate on your marriage, concentrate on your future. Is that possible? Honestly, it's not. You get what I mean? Because in that moment, your body just wants the water. That's all that you care about. You get what I mean? So when I was stopping, using the example that I'm giving you, it's the crayfish that I used to battle with because I didn't know how to handle them. So even when I wanted to stop, because I had used so long, my body was demanding for that. You get what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't live without it. That's the phrase addiction. You simply cannot do without it. So my body really wanted and needed it. So I really needed the right help. I really needed the right medication. And for me, I was gone, brother. Like I was that junkie that you see on the street, and then you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So that was the person that I was. But eventually, with the right help, the same way people go to the hospital is the same way you handle addiction issues. You simply have to seek people that know how to handle them, and that really helped me as well.
Yeah, so that brings me back. I was checking out one of the old stories about Zambia being one of the countries at peak in issues to do with drug and alcohol abuse, especially among youths. Okay?
Yeah.
So basically, I would like also to find out from you is how can we safeguard the lives of the young ones for a better tomorrow? Maybe if we put it in that regards, because there's so many youths who would give a reason saying because I don't have any employment, but they still have money to get themselves alcohol at the end of the day. So how do we safeguard such?
Okay, so firstly, it starts in the families, and it starts as a responsibility that each and every one of us have to take up. For instance, drinking has become something that's known as a social way of interaction. Okay, so among the young ones, the definition of having fun is basically drinking. What do most youths do over the weekend? They drink. How do they celebrate? They drink. How do we mourn as Zambians? We drink. Everywhere we have to involve alcohol. But then we need to realize now that as much as it is socially accepted, there are certain people that are vulnerable to addictions from alcohol, okay? So we also have put this so open because everywhere in Lusaka or every major town in Zambia, within every 100 meters, there's a spot where you can get something to drink. There's a spot where you can get a cigarette. You see how bad it is. So children grow up looking at these things. So it's each and every one.
It's now like it's. Sorry to cut you short. It's now like a norm where every gathering without alcohol, it's not something that it can be counted.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some of the things that we need to work on, and also let's stop the casual messages of drugs are bad. Let's go in and actually talk about people getting addicted to drugs. You get my point.
Yeah.
We just grew up, those days, our days in school, it was just the usual drugs are bad and everything and stuff. But let's talk about the effect that they have on society. Let's talk about the effect that they have on young people, because these are things that we see in our homes. You may not be affected, but you know somebody who's got a drinking problem. You know somebody who's battling. You either have a friend or you have a relative, or you just see somebody that you can tell to say, this is really, really bad. Those are the things that we should be talking about, okay? And we should differentiate the fact that an addiction is not a choice, it's a condition, okay? Those are the things that we need to be talking about. We need to spread the word. More centers should be open as well to talk about the same. And for many people, alcohol and drugs are not really a problem. They are a solution. Why are they a solution? Because that's where people run to because they have underlying mental health issues. So addiction really needs to be faced with serious mental health advocacy as well, because people do not know how to handle things, okay? Yeah. So there's a lot that needs to be done as far as everybody making a collective action to sort of reduce on the increase of the use of drugs and alcohol.
All right, so in your remarks, a quick one, something that I'd like to find out, are you open to also help other people to also overcome that addiction, which I know is not that easy, and I know someone is listening right now, they're like, hey, man, is there a way that they can connect to you and find out how you managed to overcome it?
Yes, I talk about a number of addiction things on my profile as well as other things. My name on Facebook is Daniel C Mbazima. It's a long topic. So the way I'm talking right now is not the way that we address certain things. And I'm very open to it. I also have an amazing team of people that have battled with addiction. And my number is 0975 849489. I'll say that again, 0975 849489.
All right, amazing. So I'm pretty sure someone's gonna get in touch and also find out more right there. I love the fact that you are doing this not just in alcohol and drug, but also you also went through depression, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
And it's something that most of us we go through, but we are so no one can easily accept the fact that they are going through depression, which is something that. It's not easy to find someone that is doing what you're doing right now, and this is why we felt like we need to have these interactions just to find a few things from you. And one of these fine days, hoping that we can just get to have you in the studio when the pandemic, we are safe to say we can also have you and also have this interaction on Joy FM as well.
Definitely, I would really, really love to.
All right,
Thank you
all right.
much.